Dory Glass here, and I want to take a moment to talk to you about relationship crises, sexual crisis, intimacy crisis, and how sometimes we kind of deaden every part of us because that part of us maybe is suffering or not getting its full expression. In all kinds of relationships, not just a lover or intimate partner relationship, but intimacy in friendship, intimacy in the workplace, intimacy in life, intimacy when you look in the mirror. The deeper and deeper I go in human design, what I'm learning is that I have gates 36 and gate 6 in my nodes on both my design side and my personality side of my human design chart. And when you have gates multiple times in multiple places, there's usually a lot of intensity there and a lot of force. And essentially, the south nodes, as I understand them, are what we come in with, into this life with. And it's what we spend the first 42, 43 years of our lives firming up, learning about, building more muscles, having a deep foundation on that. And my, in South Node on both sides of my chart is gate 36, the gate of crisis. And I'm also a 3-5 profile, the martyr heretic. And essentially what that means is I learn by doing, through experience. I kind of bump into life and life bumps into me. And I can tell you that a lot of that has involved physicality, sexuality, sensuality, trust, and crisis in all of that. And it wasn't fun a lot of time. It wasn't easy. I thought many times, I should be dead 10 times. My body should be ravaged with sexually transmitted diseases. People who know me know that in my early 20s, I literally wrote a business plan to go into prostitution. I was under the spell of deep trauma and did not fully know it at the time. Was later diagnosed with complex PTSD and have done tons of work to heal and to have a relationship with my body, a healthy relationship with my body, and with my sexuality, and with intimacy, and with vulnerability. In my human design chart, I'm also all about power. That's my perspective and view. And what I've had to learn, and sometimes the hard way, is that there's power in vulnerability and vulnerability in power. And when we can be with this and that, what's on both sides, and then bring it into our heart center and own all those parts, wow, that's when the magic happens. That's when there's juice. That's when there's real intimacy. That's when there's real sexuality, sensuality, pleasure, possibility, potential realized. In my north nodes and in the human design world, like around 42, 43, we shift from an emphasis on our south nodes to an emphasis on what's in our north nodes and what that's requiring of us. And in my north nodes, I have in both of them gate 6, and gate 6 is the gate of friction leading to harmony. It's all about the journey to harmony. And I've said it many times in my posts and stuff that I liken the friction to the sand in the oyster that creates the pearl. There is not a relationship on the planet, including the one with yourself or with Source, where there isn't friction, where there aren't issues, where there isn't sand in the oyster. And if we look at it as annoying, or why can't we make this go away, or we numb ourselves to not have to feel it, or all the things we do because we haven't built a conflict competency or a friction competency, or just a way to step into new perspectives about it. When we don't embrace that, that's when we go fallow and numb and infertile, and the creativity just slips away and apathy slips in, and it's just a horrible way of living. And it's like not living. It's like the Walking Dead. It's like we've sucked the life out of everything and we're sleepwalking. And So a big part of my work in the world is about helping people learn how to embrace the friction, how to have a relationship with every emotion, with every experience. And instead of going, why did that happen to me? Or what's wrong with me? Or what's wrong with you? Like we could just go, that's interesting. I wonder how I let that in, or I wonder how I didn't let that in, or I wonder what I need to learn here, or I wonder what skill would be helpful here and that I could bring into the mix, or I could work on. I wonder what perspective, what a shift in perspective might serve. Like, there's so many ways to get curious and learn and grow, and then in the process bring the aliveness, the sensuality, the sexy, everything back, and the pleasure and the joy. So in the end, all my life in the end is about helping people out of crisis in relationship, oftentimes the relationship with themselves, and into harmony in relationship with themselves, with source, with others, and in all the ways that it manifests, mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. And so if any of this is of interest to you, yay! Follow your impulses and start paying attention to where you're alive and where you're not, where you're actively engaged and where you're not, where you're pushing pleasure away and where you're allowing it in. Just be curious, and have fun with it. And if you ever want to just talk it through further or explore something or get, down and dirty on details, let's do that too. And I'm around and I would love to hear from you. So I wish you a day filled with sensation and feeling and pleasure and the opportunities to make room for more joy, and that you really know what that is for you. That you spend time getting curious about that, because the world's hard enough and life can be oppressive, and sometimes there will be loss and misery and difficulty. And on the other side of a lot of that is love, joy, and ecstasy. And I trust that. I believe that. I know that. So this is me telling you, get curious, breathe, welcome pleasure into your life, have fun, make room for more joy. And I wish you very, very well as you do that. Bye for now.